Imagine a garden where flowers bloom through 38 feet of snow, or one tucked behind an ancient shrine that survived World War II bombings. How about a botanical ark, preserving plants with fewer than 10 individuals left on Earth? Welcome to Stellar Eureka. Today we're exploring extraordinary gardens hidden in plain sight. These aren't tourist-packed attractions. They're living laboratories where plants defy the impossible. While millions flock to world-famous gardens, these overlooked treasures remain quietly extraordinary. Let's journey through 10 botanical wonders that will transform how you see the plant kingdom forever. Hidden in central Tokyo lies a garden that survived what most of the city couldn't: the devastating World War II bombing campaigns. For a few magical weeks each spring, Nezu Shrine's hillsides transform into a living painting as 3,000 meticulously pruned azalea bushes erupt in a riot of color. Founded in 1705, this garden stands as a living connection to Japan's Edo period, when garden design reached artistic heights rarely equaled since. What makes Nezu truly special isn't its beauty, it's the intimate experience. Unlike Tokyo's more famous gardens where crowds jostle for photos, here you can still find moments of meditation among 100 different azalea varieties cascading down hillsides in waves of pink, white, and fiery crimson. The garden's azaleas aren't planted as individual specimens, but sculpted into flowing, cloud-like formations called karakomi, creating the impression of a multicolored river flowing through sacred grounds. The garden reaches peak magic during the annual Bunkyo Azalea Festival, when paper lanterns illuminate flowers after dark, creating a dreamscape where boundaries between earth and sky dissolve. From Tokyo's explosion of springtime color, we journey to a garden on the roof of the world where plants have mastered the art of surviving the impossible. At 69 degrees north, the Arctic-Alpine Botanic Garden in Tromsø, Norway, holds an impossible title: the northernmost botanical garden on Earth. Here, where winter temperatures can plunge to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit and the sun disappears for months, you'd expect nothing to grow. Yet this remarkable garden showcases over 1,500 plant species that thrive in one of the planet's most challenging environments. These plants have developed extraordinary adaptations, growing close to the ground to avoid brutal winds, developing fuzzy coatings to trap heat, or producing natural antifreeze in their cells. Some bloom with extraordinary speed, completing their entire life cycle during the brief Arctic summer when the midnight sun never sets. The garden is organized into geological regions, allowing visitors to travel from the Himalayas to the Rocky Mountains without leaving Arctic Norway. Unlike most botanical gardens in challenging climates, you won't find greenhouses here. These Arctic survivors grow outdoors year-round, buried under snow for 8 months before bursting into frantic growth when daylight returns. If the Arctic garden showcases nature's ability to survive the extreme cold, our next destination demonstrates what happens when perfect climate meets boundless human imagination. Perched high above Funchal on the island of Madeira, Monte Palace Tropical Garden isn't just a collection of plants, it's a collision of worlds. Imagine Japanese Zen gardens seamlessly blending into lush tropical rainforest, where century-old cycads grow alongside azaleas from China, all surrounded by one of Europe's largest collections of tile art dating back to the 15th century. The garden owes its existence to José Berardo, who purchased an abandoned hotel in 1987 and spent 2 decades creating this 70,000 square meter masterpiece. What makes this garden truly extraordinary is its innovative use of Madeira's microclimate, where plants from opposing hemispheres grow side by side in volcanic soil enriched by millions of years of eruptions. As you explore the winding paths, you'll discover African sculptures standing sentinel over koi ponds, a tile museum documenting 500 years of Portuguese history, and carefully designed vistas where the gardens seem to merge with the Atlantic Ocean far below. Now we travel to a garden with a mission, saving plants from the brink of extinction. Just 5 miles from Waikiki's crowded beaches lies a botanical treasure hiding in plain sight, a living Noah's Ark for Earth's most critically endangered plants. The Harold L. Lyon Arboretum sits deep in Manoa Valley, where annual rainfall exceeds 165 inches, creating a perpetually dripping paradise for tropical species. What separates this garden from others is its conservation mission. In Lyon's micropropagation laboratory, scientists clone and preserve Hawaii's most endangered native plants, some existing as fewer than 10 individuals in the wild. As you explore the misty trails, ancient ohia trees create living cathedrals draped with rare epiphytes, while hidden valleys shelter Hawaiian lobelias with bizarre curved flowers that co-evolved with now extinct honey-eater birds. Giant bamboo groves creak overhead, while more than 50 plant families are represented, from palms and heliconias to gingers and bromeliads, creating a botanical encyclopedia of the tropics. The garden's very existence represents an ecological redemption story. Once stripped bare for sugarcane and later abandoned as unprofitable, this land seemed permanently degraded until botanist Harold Lyon transformed it into a watershed restoration experiment. Today, it stands as proof that even devastated landscapes can be reborn as biodiversity hotspots. From high-tech conservation, we descend into the misty power of nature itself. Clinging to the slopes of Costa Rica's active Poas volcano, La Paz Waterfall Gardens isn't your typical botanical experience. This is a cloud forest brought to life, a place where orchids bloom in the midst of plunging waterfalls, hummingbirds dart between flowering plants, and paths take you above, below, and sometimes through the rainforest canopy. What makes La Paz exceptional is its integration of 5 thundering waterfalls into the garden design, with the tallest plunging 120 feet into an emerald pool, creating a perpetual mist that nourishes surrounding vegetation. Suspended walkways allow visitors to experience these falls from multiple perspectives, feeling the spray on their faces as they stand just feet from thousands of gallons of water crashing down volcanic rock. The garden's location at varying elevations creates distinct climate zones, allowing visitors to witness how dramatically plant communities change with just a few hundred feet of elevation. From high-altitude oak forests, where striking bromeliads cling to branches, to steamy lowland areas where giant philodendrons stretch toward the canopy. Costa Rica dazzles with rainforest drama, but in Scotland, another kind of magic is at work, one created by ocean currents and human ingenuity. Logan Botanic Garden has quietly become one of Europe's most surprising botanical collections. Its secret? The warming influence of the Gulf Stream creates a microclimate where frost rarely occurs, allowing plants from the southern hemisphere to flourish at latitudes where they logically shouldn't survive. The garden began in 1869 when the McDowell family started experimenting with exotic plants brought back from their travels. Walking through Logan feels like botanical teleportation. The Tasmanian border showcases tree ferns that would normally perish in British winters. The South African zone bursts with proteas that seem transported directly from Cape Town, and the Chilean section preserves rare plants from Patagonian rainforests, now endangered in their native habitat. Today, it showcases species from South Africa, Chile, Australia, and New Zealand, many of which can't be grown anywhere else in the UK. In Japan's snowiest region, Shibata Botanical Garden challenges our fundamental understanding of what a garden can be. Most botanical gardens showcase their collections during spring and summer, shutting down or becoming dormant during winter months. Shibata does the opposite. It celebrates winter as its most magnificent season. The garden's meticulously pruned pine trees, enhanced by yukatsuri, snow suspension ropes, transform into otherworldly sculptures when buried under meters of powdery snow, while specially bred camellias bloom defiantly through snow blankets, creating surreal splashes of color against monochromatic landscape. But Shibata isn't just about winter wonder. The garden's collection includes over 2,000 plant species, carefully selected to provide visual interest across all seasons, proving that botanical gardens don't need tropical climates to create year-round beauty. In spring, cherry and plum blossoms create pink clouds that reflect in the garden's central pond. Summer brings lotus flowers and water lilies, while autumn ignites the landscape with Japanese maples in fiery shades. We journey now into a garden with dramatic royal history, where geopolitics and botany created something extraordinary. When Queen Marie of Romania discovered Balchik in 1921, this windswept Bulgarian coastline was part of her country, territory gained after World War I. Captivated by its dramatic limestone cliffs and perfect light, she ordered a summer palace built with gardens that would blend European sensibilities with Ottoman influence that had shaped the region for centuries. What makes Balchik's gardens truly remarkable is their unlikely survival. When Bulgaria reclaimed the territory in 1940, Queen Marie's palace should have faded into history. Instead, Bulgarian botanists transformed her personal garden into a scientific wonder, creating specialized greenhouse environments where over 250 cactus species from the Americas grow alongside Mediterranean, Asian, and African plants. The garden's crown jewel, aside from its spectacular cliffside setting, is the unexpected combination of formal European garden design with arid land plant collections. Massive agave, yucca, and barrel cacti thrive in protected microclimates, while the scent of herbs like rosemary and sage perfumes pathways that wind down toward the Black Sea. Our journey through extraordinary gardens now leaps back in time to the dawn of modern botany itself. Founded in 1593, the Jardin des Plantes de Montpellier isn't just a beautiful display of Mediterranean flora. It's a living timeline of how Western science came to understand the botanical world. Originally established to teach medical students about healing herbs, this garden predates the exploration of much of the planet, making it a time capsule of how European understanding of global botany unfolded. The garden's layout tells the story of changing scientific worldviews. Its oldest section, with precise geometric beds, represents the Renaissance belief that nature should be ordered and classified by human reason, while later sections reflect evolving classification systems across 5 centuries. As you walk among centuries-old trees and medicinal herb collections, you're following the footsteps of botanical pioneers like Pierre Rocher de Belval, who revolutionized botanical education by bringing students out of the lecture halls to study living plants. The garden has survived through the French Revolution, 2 world wars, and relentless urban development, maintaining not just its plants, but its scientific mission across 5 centuries of turbulent European history. The garden houses a 400-year-old Montpellier maple tree that survived catastrophic flooding in 1622, making it one of Europe's oldest documented specimens in a botanical garden. To close our journey, we visit a garden that's not just beautiful, it's one of the most ecologically significant places on the planet. On the eastern slopes of Table Mountain, Kirstenbosch isn't just another scenic destination. It's a living fortress protecting one of Earth's rarest and richest plant regions. What makes Kirstenbosch extraordinary is the Cape Floral Kingdom it preserves, the smallest of Earth's 6 floral kingdoms, yet proportionally the most diverse. This tiny region, covering less than 0.5% of Africa's landmass, is home to nearly 20% of the continent's plant species. Unlike most botanical gardens that showcase plants from around the world, Kirstenbosch made a revolutionary decision to focus almost entirely on its own native flora. Its 1,300 acres protect over 7,000 species, including iconic Proteus, Ericas, and Restios, plants uniquely adapted to fire, drought, and nutrient-poor soil. Many of them simply can't survive anywhere else. And it's not just the flora that impresses. The garden's architectural centerpiece, the tree canopy walkway, nicknamed boomslang or tree snake, is a curved steel and timber bridge that snakes through the treetops, giving visitors a rare view into the Fynbos canopy from above. From snow-sculptured pines in Japan to prehistoric cycads in South Africa, these gardens reveal that botanical wonders exist far beyond the famous names in travel guides. The next time you travel, consider seeking out these hidden botanical treasures. They offer experiences no museum or monument can match. Glimpses into the living heart of our planet, curated by those dedicated to preserving its botanical diversity. Which of these gardens would you most like to visit? Tell us in the comments below. And if you know of another hidden botanical gem, share that too. We're always looking for our next plant adventure. This is Stellar Eureka, signing off.